2, 1.
And now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
All right, welcome to the show. Thanks for spending some time with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, always helping you win in your real estate deals, buying, selling, or investing. Of course, we would love to talk to you. We can also help you on the finance side as well, and 80 other categories of our consumer advocate expert contributors. And speaking of that, we got Duane Bishoff in the house, CPA of Tampa Bay. He's going to give us a 2025 tax update and some of the rundown of the latest in finance coming up with Duane Bishoff here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Also joining us, Rodrigo Torres, President, Mold Solutions, going to be on the program as well. And I want to let you know about a couple of events that we've got going on. This is one that everybody's invited to, Brio Tuscan Grill, our third Thursday gratitude party. Come on out, have a happy hour, business mixer, have some drinks, have some appetizers on us. January 16th, this is third Thursday. At community spirit and networking, and it's going to be a great time. You'll see us and some of our other expert contributors there as well. So Brio Tuscan Grill, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And also coming up on the 22nd, I'm teaching a class over at the Pinellas Realtor Organization. I love to teach classes. I love to give back and share my knowledge to other realtors. This one's going to be on the 22nd over at the Pinellas Realtor Organization. So attention realtors out there, mortgage, title folks, come on out, win with sellers, teaching that class. It's going to be fun. We're going to talk about how to win more listings. We're going to talk about what it means to have leads, listings, and leverage in the real estate business. I'm also a certified negotiation expert, so we're going to talk about objection handling, converting leads to appointments, and more. So come on out and join us for that as well. All right, Duane Bishoff in studio with us. 2025 tax update. We made it. We are here in January. What's new in your world, sir?
Wow. 2023 tax filing season is not over yet.
Really?
New.
So all the way back to 23?
Yeah, so 23, which everybody probably just filed. It's still extended till May 1st with the hurricanes that we had here.
Wow.
So, we have returns. We're still trying to get out the door for clients. Some other things everybody's probably heard by now, hopefully you have, about BOI filings, beneficial ownership interest with FinCEN. It was originally due on December 31st if you have an LLC or a corporation, and it got held up by a judge in Texas. The court overruled that, made it due again, then they extended it to January 13th, and then another court said, no, we're overriding the override, so it's on hold right now. The DOJ has asked the Supreme Court to make a ruling on this so that they can just get it finished once and for all.
What's the controversy about personal information or putting
it was
undue?
So one was undue search and seizure, I think.
Yeah.
And the other one was something with First Amendment stuff.
I think people are tired. It's like at some point you just feel like it's government overreach.
Right.
Like as small business owners, how much regulation can we put up with?
Yep. Yeah. The whole point of it is to try to catch the bad guy, see what the bad guys own, but the bad guys probably aren't filing this stuff anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, the same.
They're not worried about penalties and stuff.
Similar conversation of taking somebody's guns away. It's
right.
Like they're going to find guns, they're going to buy them on the black market. You want to take our guns away. But yeah, so that's the beneficial ownership interest in a corporation. So where do we stand now?
So right now it's still on hold. You can file voluntarily at FinCEN, fincen.gov/BOI, and you can file there now. We are in our office. We've sent a letter out to clients to opt in or opt out, and so we're starting the process because we think it's probably going to go through. Some people want to file no matter what, just to file so we get it over with, and so we're doing it so we don't get caught. So we're starting the process, but we won't push the button on them until it's required.
Yeah, exactly. It's better to go ahead and get these things in place and try to be proactive versus reactive. I know sometimes people will come into your office and they'll have almost like a pile of coat hangers. It's right. It's like, hey, here's a box full of receipts, Duane. Yeah. My CPA, take care of this for me. And it's like, whoa, wait, what is this?
Yep. Yeah, we're trying to avoid that, but it does. You're right. It does happen. So that's BOI. And the next kind of topic is e-filing. Right now is closed. You can't file a tax return. If you have a refund coming, we suggest waiting for e-file to open back up because you're going to get your refund faster. And if you paper file, it's going to be 6 months. If you e-file, it's going to be a couple weeks after you e-file.
Yeah.
Typically opens up in the third week of January.
Right.
I tried to look today. They haven't announced a date yet.
Yeah.
So sometimes they'll hold it open a little longer, but they have to redo all the software, that's with that. So
there's still some dinosaurs out there that like to do paper, huh?
Oh yeah.
It's like almost everything's going electronic these days. It's just it's kind of interesting. What percent would you say your business is of folks that do the e-filing versus people that still want to deal in paper?
Oh, our business is probably 95.8%. Now, how they want to get us records is still, we like to get it digitally and we still get it in paper form and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's probably, 70-30, 70 electronics, 30% paper still. But,
yeah, I have clients that'll, to be maybe, for example, like a commercial property, and they'll have different documents that they want to send over financials, and they'll hand me a stack. I'm like, oh, is there any way we can scan this? Do you have this in a digital file? Because it just turns into us scanning it, putting it in, attaching it into the MLS or LoopNet, CoStar, so that way they have access to see the rent rolls or whatever it might be.
Yep.
So we're talking with CPA of Tampa Bay, Duane Bishoff, here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. His website, cpaoftampabay.com. You can see him there. Also on our website, consumerqb.com. You can see links there to all of our expert contributors at consumerqb.com. And what else? What other topics do you think are topical right now, Duane?
So we were all impacted one way or the other by a hurricane. Some people had a lot more monetary damages than other people did. There's some relief there with hurricane relief. So it was declared national disaster. So there's if you had a loss, especially if it wasn't reimbursed by insurance or reimbursed enough, you could say there could be a lot of tax savings if you look into it and check it out. So you kind of look at the value of your house the day before the hurricane and the value of your house after the hurricane. And that spread is possibly a loss if you have enough basis to take it, then less whatever insurance gives you. So we've had clients I have a guy up in the Panhandle, he got hit. He lost his house 2 years in a row.
Oh, man.
And he's had big tax benefits from it, but it doesn't help the money he's put out of pocket to fix it all.
Right.
But still, it helps some of it.
Yeah.
So
it's
a big area of relief, plus the filing for those returns. For 23 returns, if you haven't done them yet, have been extended to May 1st, as well as estimated tax payments that are normally due January 15th. Those are extended to until May 1st.
Gotcha.
So
let me pause there and get in a couple of these properties. I normally put these at the front of the hour, but this one's 8107 Sierra Manor, one of my listings here. We always like to feature our real estate listings on air. This one's 4-bedroom, 4-bath, 3-car garage, 2-story, estate style, beautiful, gorgeous home here on over an acre of land. This one's waterfront at Double Branch area in Tampa. It's kind of where Oldsmar meets Tampa in a sense. 8107 Sierra Manor Lane. This is a gorgeous estate-style home. Beautiful property, metal roof with a 65-year transferable warranty, 130 feet of private water frontage, and a 6,000-pound boat lift with private dock. you have access to the upper Tampa Bay. Take your boat out to dinner and enjoy that Florida lifestyle to the fullest. We also have a beautiful property here, 4675 Chancellor. This one's a newer property, Chancellor Circle, Northeast, St. Petersburg, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2160 square feet. And this one has a brand new roof, new vinyl fence, new downstairs AC, gorgeous property. Got a beautiful pool, fenced-in backyard, 2-story home, and a great opportunity to own real estate right here in beautiful Tampa Bay. You can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Only in America, dreaming in red, white, and blue.
All right, Duane. So, yeah, you hear a lot about, too, with the federal government. It seems like Washington, D.C. politics is kind of taking over the mainstream media in a sense, even social medias. It's a lot about, what Speaker Johnson said or what Trump did and these different things. But we all remember probably 6 months or 8 months ago or more, the 85,000 new IRS agents that were supposed to be hired. And then many of them carrying guns. I don't know why they have to carry guns, but what's the latest with that? Have you seen that? Has it improved wait times? What's the purpose?
So I don't know that I have seen it. We haven't, knock on wood, I haven't seen a lot of increase in, audit, the old-fashioned audits where they call you and want to come to your house and review your documents. We have not seen that yet. That's what they talked about. We have our wait times. We have a special line we call. Our wait times have come down from that. So that's been a help. But they're still backed up. Like you send a letter. It used to be, back in the day, 6 weeks before they would get to it. It's about 3 months right now before they get to a letter. And they send 2 more notices about the letter you already responded to before,
right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like an old correspondence. So the new 85,000, they haven't been implemented yet. They haven't really, there's no impact yet.
Yeah, I don't think so. They may have, I'm sure they've done some, but I don't think it's like 85,000.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Yeah.
It's interesting too, studying, for my mortgage license. And it was interesting because it was talking about how when they first, you're giving us a little history lesson here. He says, Jim Montrum, he does a great class, but he says, there was back when, the cocaine cowboys era back in the 80s, right? It's like, how did they find out where the money was coming from? He said, well, there's 12 reserve banks, Federal Reserve banks, and they noticed that the one and most of them run kind of a deficit in cash, but the one in Atlanta all of a sudden was coming up with all these surpluses in cash and just tons of money on hand, cash on hand, and they traced it down to Miami. They said, yep, must have been a lot of cash coming through Miami in the 80s.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah, it actually happened up in the Panhandle, too.
Did it really?
There's not Horseshoe Beach, but there's a little place right there. I can't think what it's called. Right. And all of a sudden, they said, like 4 banks popped up in this little teeny place and nobody knows what it is, because all the money coming through there. All
the extra cash flow from the cocaine cowboys and the fast boats. And, I think I saw a documentary where they would expect Miami, so they started going to like the Panhandle, Destin, or some of those areas out there. Let's take a quick break there. More with Duane Bishoff on the other side here. Don't touch that dial. More on the Consumer Quarterback Show and our expert contributors coming up here. Duane Bishoff, Bishoff and Associates, CPA of Tampa Bay. We also have a feel-good story of the day. After searching for random hero who restarted his heart in a McDonald's, he finds a lifelong friend. Feel-good story coming up later on the show. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rimes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rimes here. Did you know that we buy houses cash? We will close quickly and give you a fair offer on your home or residential properties, even commercial properties, and we will give you a fair cash offer, close quickly, and be diligent when you're shopping these types of scenarios, because a lot of the wholesalers, the flippers out there, they will sign you up on an as-is contract, and they will shop that contract and try to find a buyer, but they may not find the buyer, and they won't close. So this is Brandon Rimes, 813-917-1894, consumerqb.com. Brandon Rimes, we buy houses cash and fast. Attention business owners, did you know we have 100% financing options available? Our no money down program offers 100% financing for business owners. If you are currently leasing your commercial space, you can purchase real estate for no money down. Additionally, the program offers money for working capital, equipment, and business fixtures. You can even pay off current business debt. Reach out at 813-917-1894. That is my direct cell. You can call or text 813-917-1894. BRimes at kw.com. And that is our 100% financing, no money down program for business owners. We would love to help you buying, selling, or investing in real estate. 813-917-1894. BRimes at kw.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back. Consumer Quarterback Show powered by the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. Quick shout out to our friend Lee over at Lee's Royal Services. Man, he does a great job cleaning our real estate properties, I tell you. He's a great guy, great company, small business. We always talk about supporting the local economy by supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show. Lee'sRoyalServices.com, home and office cleaning. He's also got handyman certified. So if you need handyman service, Lee'sRoyalServices.com. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Also, for the exterior of your properties, we've got a great cleaning service there as well. This one is going to be Heights Soft Wash. Ramin is the owner of that company. I've known him for many, many years. HeightsSoftWash.com, HeightsSoftWash.com. Let him know the real estate quarterback sent you. All right, a couple of hot listings here. We got a new one on Lake Tarpon. This one's 2533 Dolly Bay Drive. Unit number 101, ground floor unit. You're overlooking the canal. You have a beautiful view here as well. 3-bedroom, 2-bath condo at 1,870 square feet. First floor, corner unit, waterfront community of Dolly Bay. There's heated pool, clubhouse, boat docks. Beautiful property, great opportunity. Now, it does need a little renovation. So owner is motivated here. We want to get this one sold quickly. 2533 Dolly Bay Drive, Unit 101, Palm Harbor. And great opportunity. You live on Lake Tarpon, take the boat over to the Tarpon Turtle for lunch or dinner. Beautiful lifestyle that you can live there on Dolly Bay. 7202 US Highway 301 South in Riverview. Commercial property. I want to let you know, remind you, we do commercial properties, residential properties, vacant land. We sell all types of properties as well in beautiful Tampa Bay. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And by the way, if you want to list, buy, or sell, or invest, we would love to talk to you. And check out platinummvpteam.kw.com.
This is God's country.
All right, Duane Bishoff in studio with us, CPA of Tampa Bay. Work local, shop local. That's the big theme here on the Quarterback Show, is always working with our local area business owners, expert contributors. And I got a quick clip here. This is something we all kind of know, but this is an update to the blue state to red state migration.
So, Cabot, a trend that started during COVID that continues to this day. Walk us through the latest numbers.
Yeah, so starting in 2020, we began to see a mass exodus of residents leaving deep blue states and resettling in red states across the Sun Belt. Now, initially, there was a case to be made that the trend was the result of remote work, offering folks the option to live anywhere, so they sought out warmer, cheaper places to call home. But now, 4 years removed from COVID, that trend has continued. According to new data from the Census Bureau, last year alone, California, New York, and Illinois suffered a net loss of 540,000 residents, while Texas, Florida, and North Carolina saw a net gain of 366,000. And get this, of the 7 states that saw the largest increase in net migration, all 7 were red states. And if you zoom out and look at the numbers since 2020, of the 10 states that saw the highest population gains, you guessed it, all 10 went red in November. So a clear trend emerging. Americans are continuing to move to Republican-led states.
Yeah, Duane, so we've seen that. We've seen that over the years, and just kind of a recent update to what we already know and what we already knew, the migration patterns.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I have clients that are all over the place. When I talk to mine in California, I go, how do you put up with those idiots you have running your state? You know? Yeah. But they love where they live. It's still getting, the homeless situations. Lots of they have a couple commercial properties. The state almost took over their lease.
Wow.
Like they could take over their lease for the rest of the lease period. If she wanted to rent it for less, no, we're going to take over your lease and we're going to lease it for the rest of the period. It's crazy.
They'll chase you down too, right? Yeah. Even if you leave the state, they'll come after you.
Right.
In Tennessee or Florida for your back taxes?
Yeah. Definitely for back taxes. They were trying. I think they were trying to do like a leave fee. Like if you leave, you got to pay a fee to leave or something. I don't know if that ever passed or not.
Man, you talk about a carrot and a stick, right?
Yeah.
Which one is that?
Yeah.
Duane Bishoff here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, CPA of Tampa Bay. What other tips do you have for us going forward here? And here we are in Q1 2025.
Yeah. So just real quick, the mileage rate for business use of your vehicle has gone up from 67 cents to 70 cents. And then don't forget you can contribute to IRAs, health savings accounts, and SEPs up until IRAs and HSAs up until April 15th. And then SEPs you can contribute until you extend your tax return, until your extended due date of your tax return.
And what is a SEP?
A SEP is a simplified employee pension.
Okay.
So you have to have W-2 wages or earned income to have one, but they're a good way you could fund more of those and you can fund to an IRA.
Okay.
So
yeah, those are good strategies. When you think about small business owners, I mean, that's one of the key benefits of having a small business is being able to, structure things in a manner. How much do you get into that as far as advising on structure of companies?
Oh yeah, we definitely talk with everybody. If someone's starting to get into a lot of firms won't talk to startups.
Yeah.
I do. You never know where they get lead to, and know who their father is, whatever. So I do. So yeah, it's definitely, and it could be one fit for one thing and one fit for another thing. So you have to look at each of these separately and look at where they think this is going to go. And, if it's a hobby thing, we may just keep it simple. But if I tell somebody, once you're starting to make $20,000 a year and it's trending up, it's time to start looking at maybe convert it to an S Corp or whatever.
Yeah.
So some different things. But.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's key elements there where you can really take advantage. What are some other tips that people may not know strategy-wise?
Well, the home office deductions, again, rental properties. Rental properties can get tricky because if your other income is real high, your losses can get trapped in there where you don't get the benefit of them now. You get a benefit later. But for right now, I try to tell people is focus on getting your 2023 books in order and done,
right,
so that you can get filing, keep up. The best way to save taxes is to be on top of your information and not to bring 12 months of stuff to an accountant to try to do and then expect tax planning because it's a lot harder to do.
Yeah, do it every month or every quarter and have a system in place. There's probably
Correct.
some technologies that you might recommend as well.
Yep.
Yeah, certain technology. Reach out to the show, 727-263-3707. We'd love to put you in touch with Duane. 727-263-3707. Call or text the show hotline, and we'll put you in touch with Duane Bishoff, CPA of Tampa Bay, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And Duane, final thought, or how do you want people connecting with you?
Yeah, they can. Again, my email is dbb@cpa of Tampa Bay, so they can reach out and we'll respond.
dbb@cpa.tampabay.com. There you go.
Yep.
Direct email to Duane Bishoff. Duane, thanks for coming in, man.
All right. Good to see you again.
Good tips today. Appreciate that.
All right.
Coming up, Rodrigo Torres, Mold Solutions, President, Mold Solutions, here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Also, feel good story. After searching for a random hero who restarted his heart in McDonald's, he finds a lifelong friend. Feel good story coming up here. Consumer Quarterback Show. Check us out online, Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707.
You're You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're welcoming in Rodrigo Torres here in just a moment. Mold Solutions is his company. We're going to talk with him here in just a little bit. Before we do, a couple of hot listings here. We got a new listing at 7720 Maryland. This one is a great opportunity for builder, developer. You can also put mobile home, manufactured homes on this land. We've got 2.36 acres in Hudson, Florida, just off of US 19, just a few miles from downtown Hudson. Cleared, but it's also has right now, you have 5 mobile home hookups there, concrete driveway, you have a utility garage, and an attached apartment. Great opportunity to buy land and buy some dirt here in Tampa Bay. 7720 Maryland Avenue in Hudson, Florida. Another one of our beautiful listings. This one's vacant land. We have about 50 current listings, residential properties, vacant land, and commercial. Yes, we can handle your commercial properties. We also have 100% financing available on commercial properties as well. Great opportunity there. Also, 1240 Chelsea. You've got an affordable home here at Chelsea, Chelsea Lane Holiday. 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 1-car garage. No HOA or CDD. You have a newer roof as well in 2022 installed. Open floor plan that flows seamlessly into the kitchen. You can also park your boats and jet skis, campers, commercial buildings, commercial property, commercial vehicles, that is, here in Holiday, Florida. There's no zoning against that. 1240 Chelsea Lane, Holiday, Florida. Great investment opportunity, or maybe a starter home. Check it out at you can see all of our listings as well at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, let's welcome in Rodrigo Torres, Mold Solutions. He's the president, and welcome in, sir.
Thank you, Brandon.
Absolutely.
Very pleasure to be here, and I appreciate you giving us a platform to give listeners good information.
Hey, my pleasure, man.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, being that consumer advocate, helping people understand their buying decisions and understanding sometimes, when you have frequent visits to the doctor and the doctor can't figure out, what's going on health-wise. Sometimes it's mold, man, especially with the hurricanes and what we see in this Florida climate. A lot of people underestimate what happens in their home and specifically mold.
100%. I do want to also introduce a hidden guest. Her name is Aspen.
Yeah.
She has not indicated yet. Come here. Come on.
We got a special canine that is a mold sniffing or mold detecting dog.
Yeah, her name is Aspen. She trained specifically to detect and find mold. And at the same place, they train police dogs and military dogs and tactical dogs, drug dogs, all that.
Yeah, beautiful.
And she has not indicated there's mold in the studio, so that's a good thing.
We're good. Okay.
Yeah,
so
we're good.
We're good here. All right.
Yes.
I'll pass that along to the uppers.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What do you typically see? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about, for listeners, after the hurricane, we were hit with Helene, and then we were hit with Milton shortly thereafter. And those created 2 different kind of water events in homes,
right,
specifically.
Yep.
So Helene, as you know, it was a surge. So that took the seawater, sewage water, and brought it into primarily the homes that were low to sea level, right close to the water. So that was a flooding event with the Category 3 water. Whereas the Milton hurricane was rain-driven.
More of a wind event. Wind
and rain, where the water came sideways on the homes. We're seeing this a lot under windowsills, roofs, that kind of thing. Whereas the Helene event was obviously from under the house or just coming in through doors and
rising water,
that kind of thing, right? So those are 2 different events, and I think I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I went to a house where the client that I met with, the homeowner. This is why I always tell people, consult with a professional before you do it yourself, because there's a reason they hire and train professionals to do this type of work, right? There's a reason for it. just by way of example, the lady that I met with yesterday, she pulled the baseboard. There was a water event from Milton in her master bedroom.
Yep.
She pulled the baseboard. She tried to air it out and sprayed bleach on a wood frame.
Okay.
And this is not something you're supposed to do.
So when you spray bleach, it actually has the opposite effect. Is that right?
Correct. You're giving it a water source. It doesn't fully kill. There's different things you have to do.
Yeah.
And plus, she didn't have containment, so you're also cross-contaminating the rest of the house.
Wow.
So I always tell people, yes, it's important to save as much as you can economically.
Yeah.
Do this economically, but also do it properly or professionally. Otherwise, now she's spending extra time and money to fix it the right way.
Right.
So I always tell homeowners, make sure you consult with a professional.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to just tell listeners is if you were a victim of one of these hurricanes, there's certain things you should look for
Okay.
to kind of determine if it's something you need checked out
Right.
from a mold specialist, a mold assessor. One of them is water staining. That's an obvious one, right? If you see water staining on your ceilings, if you see water staining on the walls, under the windowsills, anything like that. Cracking, right? This is all indicating water intrusion. If you see bubbling on the drywall,
Okay.
that's another indicator.
Is this interior or exterior?
Interior. And cracking exterior as well, because this same lady I was talking about that I saw yesterday, she did have cracking along the outside of the wall.
Got it.
The external wall. So that will allow water to seep in, especially with Milton. That's why it was such an interesting situation, is because normally rain comes down
Right.
vertically, but this was horizontal.
Yeah, you had
because
the
of
Forrest
winds.
Gump rain.
Yeah.
Sideways. Rain is sideways.
So it's going to get in little nooks and crannies, right, that
Right.
you're not used to. So look for those things. And obviously, if you smell anything that's a musty smell, that's actually a mold fart, believe it or not.
Wow.
That's mold eating, digesting, and farting
Wow.
when you smell that mustiness.
Oh, interesting.
So if you walk into your house and you're hit with that, mold is having a brunch. They're having a buffet.
Right.
Right. So you want to get a professional in there
Okay.
to take a look at where that's coming from. Obviously, anything visible, that means it's colonized. So that's deep into the situation.
Yeah.
When you start seeing the visible growth on ceilings, drywall, wherever that is.
Yeah.
So I would say if those things are visible to the eye, or if you could smell it,
Yeah.
definitely talk to a professional. We're happy to come out and do an assessment. We don't charge for our assessments. We'll come out. We'll take a look at what's going on. Or you could get testing from a professional mold assessor
Yeah.
who will test. Most people don't know this, but in the state of Florida, a remediation company cannot test its own job.
Right. Yeah, it's got to be a third party.
Right.
They want that separation. You see a lot of that now in the real estate space, the mortgage space, of course, specifically to the appraisals.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we used to call the appraiser, "Hey, I need this amount on the appraisal for the 90% cash out refinance I'm trying to do." But yeah, we're talking with Rodrigo Torres. He's the president of Mold Solutions, moldsolutions.com. Give us a call if you'd like a free assessment, 727-263-3707. You can call or text that show hotline, 727-263-3707. Call or text. Follow us online. We'd love to connect with you as well, at Brandon Rhymes 1, at CQB Show. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel where you see content like this all the time. If you subscribe, hit the bell, you'll have all this content just coming to you. Local companies, local business owners, local executives, sales executives that represent their companies. And that's one of the key things that we should focus on as citizens of Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast is, working local, shopping small. So Rodrigo Torres, Mold Solutions, here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. And yeah, so I think, that's one of the biggest misconceptions too, is that if you see it, then it's automatically mold. You don't know for sure until you actually send it off and get it tested.
Right. So you'll have a professional come in. They do air samples. They do swabs. Right. There's different ways you can test the air, but also direct testing.
Yeah.
Where you take a sample and you send it off to a lab, and the lab will tell you what it is, how toxic it is, how elevated, how much is present. And I always recommend that if there's a question mark, if there's any question about where it is, what it is, get it tested, right? And then we will happily come in and take care of the actual issue. There are several things that have to, it's not a do-it-yourself thing unless you have the training.
Right.
Because that leads to cross-contamination. It leads to, and I know you've had Brandon Faust, the founder, on this show before.
Yep.
I know he's mentioned mold has a defense system.
Correct.
Where if you agitate it, so if you try to tackle mold just like any living organism,
yep.
We have different ways to respond to our territory being threatened.
Right.
And so mold is no different. It's going to feel attacked when a person starts to break open a wall or cut open a ceiling or even spray it with the wrong product. Yep. And it lets off mold spores and mycotoxins, which is a fungus poison.
Yeah.
Right? So that could lead to people getting sick. That could lead to contaminating other areas of the house. So it's very important to deal with these things properly.
Yeah.
Right? So I always recommend get a professional out there to look at the situation, remediate it, and that's what we do. Right?
Let me ask you, have you dealt directly with public adjusters or the insurance companies or maybe FEMA? And what have you seen? What's been the consensus if you have, with some of these companies? Are they paying claims? Have you had, turn downs that you thought, wow, I would have think they would cover that because it was, because what you initially said too when we first started talking is the two different types of hurricanes that we have, the different types of disaster. One was more of a flooding and the other was more from a rain driven.
Sure. Yeah, the first thing is, what policy do you have? Mm-hmm. Okay, does it cover flood? Does it cover mold? Right? So what insurance does the person have? Every policy is going to be slightly different from company to company, so you kind of have to look at that, number one. Number two is they're always looking for, was it homeowner neglect? And obviously with these hurricanes, it wasn't.
Right.
We already know that. So what I'm finding is they are covering claims. You have to really be on top of it, meaning get the evidence, get the photos of what happened, when it happened. Don't sit on these things.
Right.
Take action. Okay. Get with a private adjuster. That's usually the best bet because they're fighting for you.
Yeah.
They're on your side.
Derek Coble, by the way, Right Way PA is who we work with. Derek Coble, Right Way PA here in Tampa Bay.
Absolutely, right. So hire one of those professionals to bat for you, to get the best out of your insurance claim. And but yeah, we worked with lots of insurance companies, and it's mostly smooth. I'm not going to say it's been perfect.
Right.
It really comes down to, are you working with the right guys? Do you have the evidence? And did you file that claim in a timely manner?
Yeah.
And you should be taken care of.
Yeah. Documenting. Did you document? Did you take photos? Did you have an inventory list? Do you have pricing? Do you have, all of that? The more that you can be organized in these situations, the better you're going to be, the better your outcome's going to be as well. More with Rodrigo Torres on the flip side. We're going to take a quick break here. Also, our feel-good story of the day, after searching for random hero who restarted his heart in McDonald's, he finds a lifelong friend. Coming up, feel-good story of the day here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Thanks for listening to my daddy's show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon BRimes here for AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. My wife and I shifted a lot of our buying habits, and we wanted to support companies that support our values, patriotic, Christian conservative companies, and you can find that online at AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. Now, what you're doing is you're not spending any new money. You're simply buying a lot of the common purchases that you're buying every month for the kitchen, the bathroom, your shampoos, your laundry detergent, all types of great essential oils, vitamins, herbs, those types of products. And for you beef lovers, we have great beef products as well. Tenderloin, sirloin steaks, grass-fed beef available as well. So check out AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. And I'd love to talk to you if you have any questions about it. There's also a business opportunity there for you as well. 813-917-1894. And thank you so much for supporting our company, AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com.
Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. You can reach me at 727-263-3707. Call or text 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right. Thanks for spending some time with us here. Consumer Quarterback Show back here in studio with Rodrigo Torres, moldsolutions.com. And we got our feel-good story coming up here, as well as a couple of hot property listings. This one is a newer listing as well, 15577 Little Ranch Road in Spring Hill. They're actually side-by-side parcels, so we've got 2 5-acre parcels right next door to each other. And we got motivated sellers here, beautiful property, great opportunity in Spring Hill, Florida. A lot of people are moving up into Pasco and Hernando, some of those other northern areas to find more value, more bang for your buck. And this one certainly provides that as well. You do have a small home on the property as well, but it's mostly land value here. You're looking at 5 acres side by side. So we got 10 total acres on Little Ranch Road in Spring Hill. Great opportunity to purchase real estate in Pasco County, Florida. 15 Pindo Palm. This one is a small retirement community and 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 1 spot on the carport as well. You got a mobile home in a 55-plus community of Palm Hill. We are looking at pricing right around $100,000 here as well, so affordable home. And you do have resort-style amenities, golf course, pool, jacuzzis, tennis and pickleball courts, shuffleboard, as well as bocce ball. Check out 15 Pindo Palm Street West in Largo, and you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. Of the day, 70-year-old Paul Myers collapsed from cardiac arrest at a McDonald's. Brian Harris happened to walk in the room at just the right moment. Harris, on a break from his railway job, immediately performed CPR, used a defibrillator to start Myers' heart before paramedics arrived. Myers has no memory of the event, later took to social media to find and thank Harris, determined to meet the man who saved his life. Since reuniting, the two have met several times and formed a lasting relationship and friendship. Excuse me. And there you have it. Feel-good story of the day. Let's go back to Rodrigo here. Tell us a recent success story, Rodrigo.
Yeah, so I had a lady out in St. Petersburg. She's elderly, so she was dealing with a lot of respiratory issues. And this is a common symptom. If any of you homeowners out there, or even residents, you don't have to be a homeowner, just you live in a home, condo, an apartment, and you're experiencing symptoms like there's a lot of symptoms. Respiratory is one of them, headaches, migraines, the list literally goes on, rashes, you name it. So fatigue, it's just a very long list of symptoms that could be as a result of mold. And even if you think you're immune to mold, over time, just like anything, just like eating fast food over time, it will have health repercussions, right? So it's no different with mold. So what I always tell people is don't let that pass, those symptoms. Don't sit on it, right? So take action. I would say about 60, 70, maybe % of our referrals are from doctors.
Yeah.
Because people are experiencing symptoms, right? And they don't know what it is. And there are certain tests you could do like blood tests, where they will determine what's in your system, and mold is one of them, right? There are different kinds of molds, and mold does not belong in your home. So if you're breathing that in constantly when you sleep, when you're in your house, you will have symptoms, right? So what I always tell people is jump on it. So this one lady that we worked with, great success story. She was going through a lot of respiratory issues. She couldn't figure it out. She tried all sorts of medication. She tried all sorts of doctors and would not resolve the issue. So I came out there, I did the inspection. Sure enough, there was a lot of microbial growth throughout the house. You could see it on the furniture. You could see it on walls. It was probably what we call a mold bloom, where it's all over the home, in the air system and the ducts. So we went in there, and within a week we were out there. Within a few days, actually, we were out there. We took care of the whole situation that week. And she said the next day she got the best rest and sleep of her life. All her symptoms went away. She could breathe like a normal person, and she was just blown out.
Wow.
Right. So that was a recent success story. And there's many. Just look at our reviews.
I love it.
Every day we're creating success stories in the field of health, creating healthy homes for our customers. So, and that's what I love about what Brandon Faust did, is he took the time to train specifically. He has a special license. Very few people have this license in the mold industry for highly sensitized individuals. And so he incorporated not just your typical mold remediation, it's also using products for sensitive individuals that not only get rid of the mold, but don't then make the person sick again with harsh chemicals.
Right.
So I really love the integrity of the company, because we're dealing with people's lives. We're dealing with their health. So with that comes a responsibility of making sure we go about it in the best possible way. So that was a recent success. Again, if you look at our reviews, it's a daily thing. We're creating these success stories on a daily basis.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, let's also reintroduce your special guest here.
Yeah, Aspen. Come on. She's sleeping. But
We got a
she's gonna
mold.
get up.
They have a mold detecting dog.
Hi, Aspen.
So this
You waking up
Aspen.
now?
Yep.
Yeah,
Aspen's
so
on
she's amazing. She's actually a Belgian Malinois German Shepherd mix.
Wow.
Very, very interesting dog, because she came from Poland. She was imported from Poland, and she trained in Kansas City, where they train tactical dogs and bomb dogs, and that she's ready to work, right? So if you're out there and you're wondering if there's mold behind the wall, as you can imagine, dog smell is incredible, right?
Right.
They could, I think it's 400 times what a human could smell, if not more.
Right.
And so she really trained to find the mold behind walls, vanities, etc. And she's great. So yeah, if she's a screening dog, it doesn't replace testing, right? The testing is scientific as far as you send something to the lab, you find out exactly what it is. But I actually used her recently at a home, and I had her sniff out a wall that the homeowner was suspicious of. And what she does when she finds the mold is she will lay down and she will point her nose directly at the spot.
Wow.
So
awesome.
To indicate that there's mold right there.
Man's best friend. They really are. They do a great job. Rodrigo Torres, thank you for coming in.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Check them out online, moldsolutions.com. You can see all of our experts at consumerqb.com. And thank you so much for spending some time with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us online. We'd love to connect with you at Brandon Rimes 1 at CQB Show. And check out our real estate business, platinummvpteam.kw.com. And, of course, online at consumerqb.com. Please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rimes at 727-263-3707. That's 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.